If you're like me, you want to be able to develop games from scratch. I'm talking the raw code, none of that developing under Unity crap. So in today's video, I'm going to show you the easiest example of making a bare bones game using Python. So to start off with, you're going to want to create a nice organized file for your game. I'm going to label my file Zombie because that's the theme of the game I'm creating. Now you're going to want to create a Python file. Now to do this, the easiest way is to create a new text file and rename it and make so the file type is changed from a .txt to a .py file. This is so your computer recognizes it's a Python file. You're going to want to open the file using Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code is by far the best code editing software and it's completely free. If you want to be a game developer and you don't have Visual Studio Code, I'd highly recommend it. It's a great way to start learning how to code. All you got to do is go to the Visual Studio Code website and download it for the operating system you have. Okay, now that you have the file open with Visual Studio Code, you're going to want to open an artificial intelligence window. In this video, I'm using Microsoft Copilot, but you can use any. I told Copilot that I want you to make me a Python script for a game that has a controllable character with a gun that shoots zombies using the mouse. I want it to open a full screen window when I run the script. And boom, like that, Copilot programmed me the raw code of a complete video game. So all I gotta do is copy the entire script and paste it into my Python file. And that easy, you have your first game. Well, almost. Now you want to run your game. To run your game, you need to open the directory of the file using terminal. So now that you're in the right directory of the terminal, you want to run the script. To run the Python script, you must first have Python installed. You can download it from the Microsoft Store. Now simply type Python and then your file name .py. This will run the script using Python. And I already failed. Don't forget once you paste your text into the Python file to save it. To save it, just hit Ctrl S and it will save your file. Now I'm going to rerun the script and see what happens. Okay, so this time I have a blank full screen and it doesn't even close with escape. So now it's time to learn how to problem solve like a game developer. In the terminal it says line 23 character.png cannot be found. I know exactly what the code is looking for. The script wants me to insert a character picture for my game. Anytime you have a problem, you can use artificial intelligence to help. For this example, I've decided to ask Copilot to generate me a character picture and a zombie picture. I like using Copilot instead of pulling my images from online because it guarantees that they are original. So I prompted Copilot to make me a super basic character image and a super basic zombie image. Now it's time to get the images in the same directory as the Python file. This can sometimes be tricky, but I find it super easy to just download it and then drag the file into the game folder. Now it's time to make so the code recognizes the picture. Make sure that the image outside of the script is labeled the exact same as what the code calls for. The code is extremely picky and the names need to be exact. So the code calls for character.png and zombie.png. I rename my picture to what the code calls for and boom, I'm ready to run my game again. Well, almost. You may experience some problems like Pygame isn't installed or whatever other modules aren't installed. Anytime you have a problem, you can ask artificial intelligence. I know that this code requires Pygame to be installed. Usually it's as simple as typing pip install Pygame in your terminal. Okay, and boom, it's time to see what the game looks like. Okay, so getting a look at this, it's not very playable. The images are too big, the zombies only come from one side, and I can't even aim using my mouse. So, what's the first thing you do when your script isn't working? Head to Copilot. Literally, just tell it what your problems are. I said, my character and zombies are way too big. Also, make so the zombies come from random directions and I can aim using my mouse. Make so when I hit escape, it exits the game. And boom, like that, your code is updated. Copy and paste it and replace your previous script. Open it using the terminal and boom, congratulations, you have your first game. It's now 100% playable. I think that developing games is super fun and there's so many possibilities. It's also the best way to learn how to code in my opinion. After artificial intelligence codes your game, Try and understand what it's doing. Make little modifications that can improve it. Add on to your game. Here's an example of me changing the bullet speed to make it more fun. The thing about developing your own game is there's endless possibilities. The sky is the limit. After you play around with the code and learn how it works, I'm interested to see what all games you guys come up with. Take this opportunity to unleash your inner creative side and make something awesome. You're not limited to only Python script, but my goal was to get you guys set up for a good start on game development. I want you guys to get on the right track to enjoy getting creative instead of getting burned out and frustrated like I did when I was missing a semicolon in C++. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. The next step I'm going to take is to try and learn how to make some games multiplayer using a home server. If you guys enjoyed the video and want more, give it a like, and I might make a video showing you guys how to develop games that you can play with multiple friends. Here's another example of a simple game I used artificial intelligence to create. It was inspired off of my favorite game we used to play on the Chromebooks. It's called Bonk.io. Basically, each player is a ball and you try and bump them off the map. Hey, thank you for watching and share some of your creations with me. I can't wait to see what you guys all come up with.